Comedy legend Steve Martin is celebrated for his brilliant wit, meticulous comedic timing, and an approach to humor that blends absurdity with discipline. But behind the scenes, Martin's career hasn't always been smooth sailing. For decades, he's maintained a reputation for professionalism and a deep respect for the art of comedy. Yet, as revealed in recent years, including candid reflections in his 2024 two-part documentary, Steve Martin, a documentary in 2 pieces, Martin has endured complex, often tense relationships with several of his most famous co-stars. These clashes weren't always explosive, but they left a lasting mark on Martin's life and career. Now, as Martin opens up about the frustrations he once kept private, we're given a rare, honest glimpse into the 6 co-stars he found the most difficult to work with, sometimes to the point of genuine dislike. The first name on this infamous list is Chevy Chase, Martin's co-star in the iconic 1986 comedy 3 Amigos. On screen, their chemistry seemed effortless. 3 bumbling, silent film stars caught in a wild Western adventure. But behind the scenes, the atmosphere was anything but harmonious. Martin, who had co-written the film and arrived on set with his lines memorized and a clear vision for each scene, quickly found himself at odds with Chase's unpredictable style. Chevy, already famous for his work on Saturday Night Live, was known for rewriting scenes on the fly, interrupting takes to add his own quips, and generally seeking to dominate every moment. For Martin, whose comedy was built on rhythm and carefully crafted timing, Chase's improvisational chaos was both disruptive and aggravating. Rather than confront Chase directly, Martin let his frustrations seep out through razor-sharp sarcasm, famously quipping, "If ego was money, Chevy could buy Wall Street." The remark, delivered with a smile, cut to the heart of the tension. Martin saw Chase's relentless need for attention as undermining the ensemble spirit of the film. Although there were no dramatic arguments or public feuds, Martin Short, their third co-star, often found himself playing peacemaker. By the time filming wrapped, Martin had quietly decided that one collaboration with Chevy Chase was enough. He remained cordial in public but never sought to work with Chase again, leaving 3 Amigos as a classic with a hidden legacy of clashing personalities. Another memorable but strained partnership came when Martin shared the stage with Bette Midler for a high-profile charity gala. Both were titans in their field, Martin with his precise, structured humor, and Midler with her bold, theatrical spontaneity. Martin, ever the craftsman, prepared a sharp, witty monologue, aiming for a balance of satire and elegance. But Midler, famously unpredictable, abandoned the script mid-performance and broke into song, effectively hijacking the stage and drowning out Martin's carefully planned routine. What was meant to be a co-hosting partnership quickly devolved into a one-woman showcase. Martin, the consummate professional, stayed polite and didn't argue, but the tension was palpable. He quietly exited the event early, making a statement without spectacle. Later, his frustration surfaced in a cutting note attached to a charity donation. Tell B it came from her biggest fan, silence. The dry humor captured his disappointment and made its way through Hollywood circles as a legendary anecdote. The clash was never about jealousy, but about respect for the art and the audience, a principle Martin holds dear. For him, Midler's style was a reminder that some performers don't share the spotlight, they consume it. Steve Martin's meticulous approach to comedy also clashed with the freewheeling genius of Robin Williams. The two shared the stage for a comedy skit that, on paper, paired Martin's structured timing with Williams's anarchic improvisation. Williams, whose mind raced faster than anyone around him, erupted into unscripted bits that electrified audiences, but left Martin stranded, unable to maintain the rhythm he relied on. Martin later described the experience as like reading poetry on a roller coaster. It was a line that perfectly captured both his admiration and his genuine discomfort. Despite the clash, Martin always respected Williams' talent. Their mutual regard kept any bitterness at bay, but both quietly agreed not to collaborate again. The divergence reflected deeper truths about comedy. Martin embodied order and precision, while Williams represented chaos and imagination. For audiences, both styles were dazzling. But for Martin, the collaboration proved exhausting and unsustainable, a beautiful storm he admired from a distance. Goldie Hawn is another co-star with whom Martin's relationship was quietly fraught. Their film House Sitter charmed audiences with its witty banter and romantic farce, but the chemistry on screen masked a deeper tension. Hawn thrived on spontaneity and improvisation, often arriving late and throwing in extra lines or gestures that kept scenes fresh but unpredictable. For Martin, who valued rehearsal and timing, Hawn's looseness sometimes felt reckless. The tension was subtle but persistent, and a light-hearted joke Hawn made about Martin's beloved banjo at an offset party lingered with him, touching a nerve that few realized existed. There were no heated arguments, and both remained professional, but Martin quietly declined future opportunities to work with Hawn. To outsiders, their lack of further collaboration was puzzling, but Martin's actions spoke volumes. He sought harmony in his work, and with Hawn, the blend of styles never quite balanced. House Sitter remains their only significant pairing, a testament to the silent impact of creative differences. Perhaps the most notorious of Martin's strained relationships is with Bill Murray. Their clash occurred during a live sketch performance in the late 1970s. Martin, known for his preparation and punctuality, was infuriated when Murray arrived nearly an hour late. Murray then mocked Martin's clean-cut style, turning the performance into a battle of tones rather than a showcase of comedic synergy. For Martin, who believed rhythm and reliability were the backbone of comedy, Murray's behavior was more than unprofessional. It was deeply disrespectful. The fallout was profound. After that night, Martin and Murray didn't speak for over a decade, maintaining a deliberate distance even at major industry events. Their philosophies on work were fundamentally opposed. Martin's discipline versus Murray's chaos. Both were giants in their field, but their rift prevented what could have been legendary collaborations. The tension was never public, but it was a quiet fracture that ended any chance of a true partnership. Jim Carrey rounds out the list of co-stars who left Martin frustrated. The clash came to a head at a comedy awards show in the 1990s. Carrey, then at the peak of his wild, energetic fame, turned a brief acceptance speech into a 14-minute marathon of impressions and antics. The performance, while entertaining for some, grated on Martin, who valued brevity, structure, and respect for the event's rhythm. As Carrey continued unchecked, Martin let out a loud, exaggerated yawn and then walked on stage with a comically oversized "wrap it up" sign. While the audience laughed, the gesture was more than a bit. It was Martin's genuine irritation breaking through his usual composure. Hollywood insiders later revealed that Martin had declined opportunities to star opposite Carrey in a buddy comedy film, remembering the awards show and fearing months of unrelenting energy. "We're oil and water," he confided to friends. The clash was inevitable. Martin's polished, precise comedy versus Carrey's raw, spectacle-driven improvisation. Both styles captivated audiences, but together they generated friction instead of harmony. Beyond these six, Martin's career is peppered with stories of challenging collaborations, but these examples stand out as moments where the difference in approach, respect, and professionalism became too great to ignore. The entertainment industry is built on the myth of effortless chemistry, but Martin's experiences reveal the reality. Even legends clash, and even the most brilliant partnerships can be undone by ego, style, or a simple lack of respect. Recent revelations, especially those highlighted in Martin's 2024 documentary, add new layers to these stories. For example, Miriam Margolies, who played a dental nurse alongside Martin in the 1986 film Little Shop of Horrors, recalled in her memoir the discomfort she endured when Martin's physical comedy in their musical number left her with headaches. Margolies described Martin as horrid, detailing the tension and lack of care she felt during their collaboration. Though not part of Martin's own public grievances, her account reinforces how even seemingly light-hearted projects can harbor behind-the-scenes strain. The entertainment industry often demands compromise, adaptability, and the ability to work through differences. Steve Martin's legacy, however, is a testament to the importance of staying true to one's principles, even when it means walking away from promising partnerships. His willingness to prioritize professionalism, preparation, and respect has shaped his career, setting him apart from peers who thrive on chaos or self-indulgence. In the end, Martin's reflections on his most trying co-stars aren't just stories of conflict, they're lessons in the delicate balance required to create lasting comedy. They remind us that behind every laugh is a complex web of personalities, and that sometimes the best decision is to step back, preserve one's integrity, and let history judge the work on its own merits. If you enjoyed this journey through Steve Martin's complex collaborations and the untold stories behind the laughter, make sure to stay connected for more insightful explorations. Your engagement helps bring these behind-the-scenes moments to light, offering a deeper understanding of the personalities that shape the world of comedy. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and invite others to discover the fascinating dynamics that influence the entertainment industry's brightest stars.